عليكم. النهاردة إن شاء الله هنحل الامتحان اللي جه لمحافظة القليوبية النهاردة. أول سؤال معايا بيقولي choose the correct answer. The product of multiplying current intensity by the time to flow the current produces a physical quantity which is measured by a unit called what. يعني هو دلوقتي عايز نشوف لما هنعمل multiply current intensity by time ايه الميجرينج يونت اللي هتطلع لي. طبعا current intensity time التايم هتديني quantity في charge، يعني الميجرينج يونت بتاع quantity في charge هتكون coulomb. السؤال التاني the gland illustrated in the figure in front of. Here this gland is what? The gland here is below the stomach, so this is the pancreas gland. The question is secretes two hormones. What are the hormones that pancreas secrete? Insulin and glucagon. Question 3. The results of blood analysis in one of the medical laboratory for a person who is a worker in nuclear energy. Person already شغال في nuclear energy راح عمل blood analysis فوجد إن هو عنده blood hemoglobin، يعني عنده disorder في الهيموجلوبين للبلاد. دي أي نوع من الإفكت للنيوكلير راديشن. بما إنه هو blood hemoglobin هيكون cellular effect. physical لو كان already في effect على البادي نفسه من بره. genetic لو كان الإفكت في ال DNA أو أي genetic material. Number 4. If crossing take place between male and female genetic composition of them is B capital B small. Let's do it. B capital B small, B capital B small. This is my two parents. What is the question? So the ratio between the resulting offspring which carry the genetic composition B capital B capital. He wants to know how many individual will have the genetic material B capital B capital. So let's do it. B capital times B capital, B capital, B capital, B capital, B small, B capital, B small, B small, B small. So I have one B only. The ratio will be 1/4 because each 4 individuals I have only one B capital, B capital. Question number B. Correct the underlined word. Question 1. The decrease in the secretion of the gland that in this figure cause what? What is the gland in this figure? It's between trachea and larynx. This is thyroid gland, and because this is thyroid gland, when the secretion of this gland decrease, it causes simple goiter. The dwarfism is about the growth hormone. It's not here about the growth hormone, about pituitary gland. Number 2. The chemical formula of silver nitrate, without looking here, silver has symbol Ag, nitrate has symbol NO3. Number 3. Testosterone hormone promotes the growth of endometrium, that is wrong, sexual male characters, or male sexual characters, secondary character. Number 4. On heating copper hydroxide. Both of them are mistake. Heating copper hydroxide, I have CuOH by 2. By heating it, it means I make thermal decomposition, so it will give me copper oxide plus H2O, which means it will give me copper. Here you will write copper oxide and water. Question number C. In the opposite circuit, when closing the key, calculate the value of electromotive force. Okay, let's take a hold. I want the electromotive force of X cell, not of all the circuit. But I already have ampere and volt and ohm and resistance. So first of all, I will get the potential difference for all the circuit, which equal R times I, which means 4 times 3 equal 12 volt. Now I have the potential difference for all the circuit. I want it for X only. So I know that from the parallel, they are equal, no summation here. So for the parallel, I have to. Finally, for the series, I have 12 minus 2, which means I have 10 for the series. How many cells I have in series? 2, and he mentioned that they are equal, so each one of them will be 5 volt. X cell here will be 5 volt. Question number 2. Extract the unsuitable word and then write what connect the others. Volt over ampere. Volt over ampere, it means ohm, because they will give me the resistance. Coulomb, which means quantity of charge, over second, which means time. Quantity of charge over time means current intensity, which means ampere. Here, volt time second over coulomb, which means volt time over quantity. What is this? That gives me what? I know that quantity over time give me ampere. So time over quantity, we will just inverse it. It will be 1 over I, which means V over I, which means again ohm. And here I have ohm. So ohm is the same for all of them except this unit only. It's the different one because it will give me ampere. Question number 2. Dwarfism, gigantism, diabetes, simple goiter. Which one is different here? Gigantism. Why? Because dwarfism comes due to decrease in the secretion of hormone. Diabetes, decrease in secretion of insulin. Simple goiter, decrease in the thyroxine hormone. Gigantism only comes from increase of the hormone. So this is the difference. Second question. Mention the importance of each of the following. Rheostat. Rheostat, this is for the resistance. So it controls the resistance and so control the potential difference and the current intensity. Nuclear binding force, this is the originate of the nuclear energy or the reason of the nuclear energy. Number B. Study the reaction and then find 1, 2, and 3. Heating copper carbonate, which means making thermal decomposition for copper carbonate. Of course, it will give me copper oxide and carbon dioxide. The heating of metal carbonate or metal nitrate, metal carbonate or metal hydroxide or metal sulfate give me metal oxide. So I will get metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. Okay, then take this carbon oxide or this copper oxide and put it hydrogen and tell me what will you get here in number 2. CuO plus H2, this is the equation that we took in the oxidation reduction reaction. It will give you Cu plus H2O. So here it will be Cu, copper. Number 2 here, how can you detect for number 3? How can you know that number 3 is carbon dioxide? By using lime water, so it will turn it into from clear to turbid or from clear to milky color. Second, complete the spaces in the following table. Which hormone from which gland that regulate the general growth of the body? Regulate the growth, this is the growth hormone. Which gland that make the growth hormone? Pituitary gland. Number 2, estrogen. Estrogen is secreted from the reproductive cell, especially the ovaries glands. What is the importance? Estrogen produce the female sexual character. Number C. In the opposite electric circuit, calculate each of the following. The work done by the battery to transfer an electric charge through 2 seconds. I want the work done. First of all, what is the law of the work done? Work done can be get from the law of potential. So work done will equal to potential time quantity of a charge. I already have the potential, but I don't have the quantity of a charge. So I have to use another law to get the quantity of a charge. Quantity of a charge equal what? Equal from the law of intensity, it will equal to I, the current intensity, times time. I here is 3 ampere times the time, which is 2 seconds. It will be 6 coulomb. Now it's easy. I will take the 6 here and I'll take it 16 and I can find the work done. Number 2, the value of electric resistance. We know that the resistance equal V over I. I already have the V 60, so finally I can get the resistance by ohm. Question number 3. In this figure, notice that the reaction is slow due to the formation of a compound which is hard to decompose. Write the chemical formula for the reaction. First of all, we talked already before that aluminum makes a slow reaction because on the surface on aluminum there is a layer called aluminum oxide. This is the reason why the reaction is slow, because first the reaction happens with this layer until it finishes and then makes the reaction with the aluminum itself. So again, this is due to what? Due to the presence of aluminum oxide. Mention the oxidizing agent in the reaction from the following. What is the chemical equation first? How can we write it? We have aluminum plus hydrochloric acid to give us AlCl3 plus H2. He's asking me which one is oxidizing agent, which means who is making a reduction, which means gaining electrons. So I'm going to look here. Aluminum positive 3, aluminum here is 0 because this is an element alone. H here is positive 1, Cl here negative 1. When they make the reaction, I have here positive 3 for aluminum, negative 1 for chlorine, and 0 for hydrogen. Look at the hydrogen, it was positive 1, which means it was losing 1 electron. But after the reaction happened, it becomes a 0, which means it didn't lose any electron now, which means it was losing 1 and now it's gained this 1. So it has 0 losing electron. It gained electron now. So the answer will be hydrogen. Give reason. Oxidation or reduction process didn't happen in double substitution. Easy, because in double substitution, there is no losing or gaining an electron. Losing or gaining happen only in oxidation or reduction reaction. In double substitution, it's only substituting between the elements. Number 2, there is a strong relation between pancreatic gland and adrenal gland. Because when the person feels anything like fear or anger, the adrenal gland works increasing the sugar level, and so pancreatic glands work producing insulin to reduce this sugar. Number B, a man married a woman of one of them carry curly hair. Dominant trait is taken letter J, and the other carry the smooth hair. This is the recessive trait G small, and they have 4 offspring. If the ratio between the curly hair of the spring to the smooth hair is 1:1, which means 50-50. So what will be the structure of the parents? We already take a note about this. If I will get 50-50, 50 recessive, 50 dominant, the parent must be one hybrid dominant and the other pure recessive, which means my parent is going to be G capital, G small, hybrid dominant, G small, pure recessive. So it will give me G capital, G small, G capital, G small, G small, G small, G small, G small, 50-50 or 1:1. So the structure of the parent will be G capital, G small, G small, G small. Second, what are the results that related to each of the following? Number 1, connecting between 2 charged conductors. The potential difference between them is 0 by a conducting wire. Of course, they are 2 conductors, yes, but the potential between them is 0. So, no potential difference, no electric current go or flow through the wire. Okay, because we said that in order to let the electric current go, there must be 2 conductors of 2 different materials, so we have potential difference between them. Potential difference means zero. It means that they are two similar conductors and so there is no electric current passing. Number 2, an endocrine gland works by abnormal form. What happened or what's the result of the endocrine gland worked by abnormal form? This is about the growth hormone. We take it. If it decreased in the secretion, there will be a disease called dwarfism, which means stop continuing the growth. Or if it will increase in the secretion of hormones, it will cause gigantism, which means continuing in the growth. Number C. Relate each of the following reaction to the figure which represents it. First, before I say anything, I have to remember something with you. That in any graph like this between concentration and time, the line that start from the beginning, from high concentration like this, it's the line of the reactant. And the lines that start from zero like this is for the product. Let's see together. First one, N2 plus 3H2, which means I have here two reactants, give me 2NH3, which means I have one product. Which one here has two lines for reactants and one for product? Only number 4, because it has two lines for the reactants and one for the products. Number 2, 2SO2 plus O2 catalyst. There is catalyst here, so of course there is something in the reaction doesn't change in its concentration during the reaction, which means this graph, number 1, there is a straight line here, doesn't change in its concentration. Number 3, 2N2O5 plus give us 4NO2 plus O2. Here I have one reactant, two product. So both of them, two reactant, one product. How can I know which one is the right answer? Simply, the products are 4NO2 and 1O2. There is gap, there is big difference between the concentration of them. One of them is very high, the other is very low. This is 4, this is 1O2. So it will be for number 3. Number 4, CuSO4, it will be number 3. Question number 4. Write the scientific term. Ion exists in the aqueous solution of acid. It means when we put acid with water, what are the ions that we will get in the solution? Actually, this question from the previous years, and here it will be protons, the ions of protons. Number 2, one of the methods connecting the cell to obtain low electromotive force. Low electromotive force, which means parallel connection. Parallel connection, because if it was serious, we will make summation for the electromotive force, so we will have high electromotive force. So to get low electromotive force, it must be by parallel connection. Number 3, the only way to let the hormones of the endocrine gland to reach the target cell, endocrine gland secretes its hormone into the blood. Number 4, the cells that produce constant intensity and unidirectional electric current. We have electrochemical cell. This is the cell that only cells that we take. Electrochemical cell, like the dry cell and so on. This produce current or produce electricity with constant intensity and only moving in one direction. Question number B. Choose the correct answer. Basics of manufacturing the atomic bomb were based on the theories of the scientist. The scientist who's talking about the atomic bomb, it was Ali Mustafa Musharraf. Number 2. What are considered as the part of nucleic acid and they are responsible for appearing of individuals' heredity trait? Of course, this is the genes. Second, compare between each of the following: direct current and alternating current, according to the ability to transfer it through wires. Direct current, able to transfer for only short distance, but alternating current for a long distance. Number 2, Mendel's first law and Mendel's second law. Mendel's first law, according to the name, it is the segregation law. Mendel's second law, it is the independent assortment of hereditary factors. Number C, from the opposite figure, mention a suggestion to increase the amount of the evolved hydrogen gas. Here, what do I have? I have magnesium plus hydrochloric acid. Magnesium plus hydrochloric acid, it will give us hydrogen gas plus something else. He wants to increase the amount of the produced hydrogen. And in order to do this, he has to use